Do you know this pattern? Meeting somebody, bonding quickly, fearing that the relationship will change. And so proving my worth by doing lots of stuff, making myself invaluable in the relationship. And then realizing I've forgotten all about my own things because, I've taken on their things as my new special interests is their things. So when I try to take my things back, there's not time. There's not time. There's not energy. I start to shut down. I start to burn out. I want to be an equal member of my relationship. I don't want to be the assistant. Hello, my friends. Hi. It's nice to see you. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Arlene. I'm a performing singer-songwriter. And 2 and a bit years ago, I found out that I am autistic. And then after that, I found out I have ADHD. And since then, I've been here in my studio trying to figure out what it means. This is where I'm at with making art. I'm making videos because I want to connect with people. I want to find other people in my community. I didn't know that I was in the autistic community until I started meeting other autistic people. And then I realized, yeah, these are my people, these are my people, these are my people, these are my people, these have always been my people. I just didn't know what we were called. If you feel like subscribing or liking or sharing, all of those things, it's really helpful. Stupid business, blah, 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 blah. Looking into all this stuff means looking at patterns because it's not what's happening today that is the only thing that matters. We have to take a look into the past. And that's how we find out, that we're neurodivergent, that these challenges have been going on for our whole lives. I love pattern finding. And recently I discovered a pattern of my own, and I wanted to share it with you. What I wanted to focus on today is a pattern that I recognized about my relationships, my big ones, like with my ex-husband, who, I would like to point out, before I start to tell you this, is a good friend of mine. We are friends. We are friends. I love him. We're not married anymore, but it's all good. A thing that happened in my relationship with my ex-husband, I suddenly realized was happening again with my current partner. And I suddenly thought, that is a panic. That's a panic moment. A panic moment when I suddenly realized this pattern, if it plays out, is going to play out the same way it did before. Here's the pattern. When I'm single, I go out and do things. I go out on my timeline. I go out when I want to go out, where I want to go out, how long I want to be there, what I want to do. And then I'm done. And I lived my life like that. Do the things like blah, 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 blah. Which makes me a very interesting person because I do weird crap. I would meet somebody nice and begin a lovely courtship with a lovely person. And then I would bond, someone who I think I love them and they think they love me. Oh my God, this is a magic. All the, swelling violin sounds, la, la, la. Because violin is associated with romance. Saxophone is associated with rainy sex or murder investigations. Meet the person, bond with the person, and then start to worry. Worry that it's not going to last. Why is it not going to last? Because I'm not being me. The second I meet somebody, I would start masking. I didn't know that's what it was then, but that's what was happening. Now, how could I manage this worry? By being useful. I would make myself useful, make myself helpful, because I am attracted to people who do things, who giver, people with passion, people who go into projects like I do. I admire that in other people. So the best way to be helpful in that situation is to basically become the other person's assistant But, nobody's going to say that, right? I'm never going to say, thank you, now that we're dating, I'll be your assistant. No, we don't say that. And the other person never said to me, and now, Arlene, you'll be my assistant. I would just do it. I would just do it because of fawning, right? Because of fawning, to be accepted. Rejection was my fear. So fawn and be helpful. Give of myself. Because I can anticipate, right? I can anticipate. You remember, there used to be a show on a while ago. I love this show. It's called MASH. It was about the war, about the Korean War. But there's a character. He was the company clerk. His name was Radar O'Reilly. Walter. But his name was Radar because he was psychic, apparently. He could anticipate it. He always knew.
How can you be late if you come in here before I even know I want you?
I like to be Radar. I am Radar. I'm a good assistant. But you know what? You can't be an assistant forever. And I can't be telling the other person, I did this for you. I did this for you. I did this for you. I just take the knowledge that things are easier for them. Yeah, things seem to be easier for them. They're happy. They're focused on their thing. And I'm doing stuff like managing everything else, all the background. Yeah, that's where their resentment starts to come in. I'm not a person who requires thanks, I thought. When I didn't get thanks, I think I worked harder. Okay, well, if that little thing isn't thankworthy, what about this medium thing? How about this large thing? Giving away more and more of myself, hoping that by keeping them happy and comfortable, then my life is happy and comfortable. Because when they get all stressed out and freaked out, I have to run around and fix things to make things easier for them, which makes things easier for me. Then I start thinking, what about me? What about me? Right, I am interested in things. I like to do things. So then I'll decide the relationship is solid. It's good. We're solid. I can now go and do my stuff. But the process of making myself a good assistant in a relationship is basically a full-time job. So trying to fit in my stuff, I hate doing that. It's so weird. I got to do it outside of assistant's business hours. Things that used to be their job, which I took on as my job, is now not getting done. So then they get cranky. I try harder. Don't do my thing. No, do my thing, but do my thing later or earlier or in between or as fast as I possibly can. And starting to really feel like, hey, why am I giving up all my stuff? And when I resent, it's all in my head. It's all shutting me down. Have you ever tried undoing all that stuff? You ever tried 18 years of doing that stuff and then saying,
I'm not going to do that stuff anymore, and if you love me, you're going to be good with it.
It doesn't go well. Because depending on who you're with, depending on who you might pick a person who kept you because you were doing all those jobs. And as soon as you start to not do those jobs, you can be replaced. There's plenty of us around who really want acceptance and love. And then I can't do my stuff. And I can't do their stuff. All I can do is be a failure in everything. A failure in my stuff, a failure in their stuff, a failure in our stuff. And now is the time to cut me free. That was me floating off into the distance. Quietly, stoically. A very familiar pattern in dating. Don't even have to be living with the person. You don't have to be married to them. You don't even have to be romantically connected to them. It can be like a friendship. It can be a job. it can be a job. It can actually be a job. So these days, in my life now, with my partner of 10 years, we've had really interesting discussions about the patriarchy. I'm sorry to throw that word in there, but it's there. I am a cisgender female, and I was trained to be assistant to men. I was trained to be helpful. I was trained to be pleasant. I was trained by the patriarchy. Patriarchy affects us all, affects the women, and affects men too, hoping to make themselves invaluable, an invaluable member of this relationship. And so I can never be replaced. Yeah, we get replaced. So my current fella talking about patriarchy and talking about what those invisible jobs are. All that stuff that people who take on invisible labor do to make things run, to make things go, to make life worth living. In my relationship, we're exposing what those silent jobs are, which means recording them, which means stating them, which means saying, I want to be an equal member of my relationship. I don't want to be the assistant. So I don't know. Does this affect you? Do you know this pattern? Meeting somebody, bonding quickly, fearing that the relationship will change. And so proving my worth by doing lots of stuff, making myself invaluable in the relationship. And then realizing I've forgotten all about my own things because, I've taken on their things as my new special interests is their things. So when I try to take my things back, there's not time. There's not time. There's not energy. I start to shut down. I start to burn out. But I'm not going to do that anymore. Where am I at the pattern right now? I'm at the pattern right now where I have already proven myself to be absolutely invaluable. That's so stupid. Does this experience resonate with you? I'd love to hear about it. Please tell me in the comments if you even know what I'm talking about. Half the time I don't know what I'm talking about until I say it. And then I realize, I said a thing. So this is the thing that I said. I'll see you soon. You take care of yourself. I'm going to take care of myself. Let's take care of some of the people around us. And you. Peace, my friends. Hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, checking 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hello, hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, checking 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, we can go, 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 go. Hello, my friends.